Keyboard and mouse. The most common input for pros and even the high-end play-based of Fortnite. For every 15 Unreal players, there's a ratio of 8 to 2 from keyboard and mouse to controller. But why are there so much less controller players? Well, it's because of one of many things, and one of them are keybinds. There are only so many keybinds you can have on a controller, and even with paddles, it's not enough. This, however, is not the problem with keyboard and mouse, because there are so many more keys, given the space and freedom of a player to decide what keys they want to use. There are over 1 million different combinations of keybinds, and no pro players have the same keybinds. Now, I can't just tell you the best keybinds for keyboard and mouse, because there simply isn't. Every player has their own set of keybinds that are catered to them, so you would have to experiment and see what's comfortable for you. What I can do for you is I can tell you the most generic or common binds. This is the most common type of movement, this is for edit, this is for cone, floor, stair, wall and reload. These are a few of the many binds used on keyboard, and at one moment you are using up to 6 at one time. But there are 2 buttons I have not talked about yet, and maybe the most important buttons for keyboard and mouse, and they are side mouse buttons. Side mouse buttons are very useful when it comes to using the mouse, and in my opinion, you should at least use one button for any input. They relieve the left side of your hand, giving it less inputs to handle with, while giving the right more actions to deal with, balancing it out. The most common actions for the side mouse buttons are usually build binds, and they are very beginner friendly. And if you want any more specific binds, you can go to this website linked below and look at specific binds from pro players and their peripherals. Here's another tip if you're using keyboard and mouse, and the tip is you want to maximize your fingers. For example, say I wanted to build a cone and edit it as quickly as possible. The binds for the cone is E and my edit is F. I would have to use my index finger and manually switch from E to F. And in between building and editing the cone, there's a travel time. We don't want that travel time. The solution to this is I'm not using my thumb, so I'll move my cone to C, so my index could just stay on F the entire time and I can use my thumb for cone. That way, I could instantly build a cone and edit it within a shorter span of time. Now, I'm here to talk about binds that will only give keyboard and mouse the advantage. Starting with scroll wheel. Binding this to your pickup is way easier to pick up weapons, and it gives you the upper edge when it comes to 50-50 a chest compared to mashing a button on controller.
Bruh.
Talking about scroll wheel, we also have scroll wheel reset. When you reset a build on controller, you have to press 2 buttons for it to reset. One to select the building edit, and then another to confirm the reset. However, on keyboard and mouse, this is only one input. By binding both inputs to a scroll wheel, you'll need to scroll up or down to reset the bind, allowing you to piece control quicker and easier. All of these binds can take you from a good player to a better one. So the question is, should you switch to keyboard and mouse? Yes, but only on 2 conditions. You haven't seen much improvement on controller, or you haven't been playing since chapter 2. If you've been playing for a really long time on controller, it's better for you to not switch, since you've probably already mastered most of the movement and mechanics on controller. What I'm really trying to say is, if you feel like a bot, switch, and if you've been playing since the Marshmallow Fortnite event, then don't switch.